In order to have anything in this world, you must speak up on it. In order to have anything in this world, you must speak up on it.
Oh, that your Versace and Versace, she don't want it. She like it hot just like a coffee in the morning. And if you want it, then you gotta speak up on it. Said if you want it, then you better speak up on it. 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 Said if you want it, then you better speak up on it. Said if you want it, then you gotta speak up on it. She's not into material, but she like it physical. Can't wait to download my digital. I'm grinding, I'm rushing. Girl, you got me crushing. Said I'm crushing, you're the cream in my coffee. I wanna stir it up. At 4 in the morning, I wake it up. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Said I walk it like I talk it. I love her cause she got her own. And she knows just what she like and what she want. If you were mine, I'd never leave you alone. I take my time, give you everything you want. Every that your Versace and Versace, she don't want it. She like it hot just like a coffee in the morning. And if you want it, then you gotta speak up on it. Said if you want it, then you better speak up on it. 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 Said if you want it, then you better speak up on it. Said if you want it, then you gotta speak up on it. Not the fact, it's the principle. She's so invincible. She bring me down something so critical. And I can't wait around, I gotta let her know. Better speak up on it before she's spoken for. Said I'm not a millionaire, but I can take you there. She said it wouldn't matter and she didn't care. She don't care. She just thought I'm matching out in LA. She's in everything since a little girl. I love her cause she got her own. And she knows just what she like and what she want. If you were mine, I'd never leave you alone. I take my time, give you everything you want. Every that your Versace and Versace, she don't want it. She like it hot just like a coffee in the morning. Said like you hot, then you gotta speak up on it. Said if you want it, then you better speak up on it. Speak up on it. Speak up on it. I know what I got. Speak up on it. I gotta speak up. Said if you want it, then you better speak up on it. Said if you want it, then you gotta speak up.
What up? What up? What up? What up?
See what we got up in there.
See if we can get some Colorado fans up in here to talk about the game coming up with West Virginia. What y'all think the freshmen gonna do? JuJu getting his first start as a Colorado Buffalo. Think it's gonna make a difference. He done changed offensive coordinators. Pat Shermer's out. Brett Bartolone's in. Caden Salter out. JuJu Lewis in. Julian Lewis in. Is it gonna make a difference? I don't know. I don't know if it is or if it isn't. Well, I do know if it is, if it isn't. I want to know what you think. I'm a firm believer. Coach Prime always tell you, if they show it to you, believe what you see. So have they been showing you what they've been showing you? You know what I'm saying? You think JuJu's gonna show out, huh? Okay. I think JuJu gonna show out. All right, JuJu.
Let's see.
He gonna show something. That's for sure. He definitely gonna show something. I don't know if he gonna show out, but I know he gonna show something. sir, yes, sir. Wait for a couple people come up in here and we get to talking. See what they're talking about. Um, you got some old CU fans. I mean, not old. I should. I take that. Take that back. Some ex CU players, right? Think that um tradition that they lack in tradition, like as far as knowing the fight song and the actual tradition of running out behind the actual buffalo. That was a tradition. When the buffalo come out, they would all run out right behind him, and it'd be right behind him. They don't let the buffalo do his run and go off, hit the U-turn, get up in the damn uh, kennel, and then they come running out on the field. That's not the way it's supposed to work. They supposed to run out with the buffalo. When the buffalo, as soon as the buffalo's let out the gate, the whole team's supposed to be right behind him or her. Right behind Ralphie. You know, and so some of the ex or former players want them to get back to tradition, the pride of what Colorado's all about. The fight song, not the one that they sing in the stands. Somebody called it the YouTube version, the actual fight song that the players sing, saying that would bring more camaraderie and more heart for just you're not playing for the numbers on the back of your jersey, but you be playing for the name that's the name that's on the back of your jersey, but the name that's on the front. And that they would play with more pride. See, and do you really think that pride is the issue here? I mean, you think them not playing with pride is the problem? I don't know if that's an issue. You know what I'm saying? I think uh, a lot of people want to know, well, what happened from the week before the bye week when they beat Iowa State, who was ranked 22 at the time, and ever since the bye week, they've been getting thrashed. 53-7 was the first thrashing by Utah, and then 52-17 was the next thrashing the very next week. Well, sometimes you got to believe what the coach tell you. He told you he didn't know what the problem was in the Utah game, which is very clear because the very next week he get 52 put up on him, only 1 point less, and his offense was still sputtering. You know, those they had 5 turnovers in that game, uh, all interceptions. And if you notice, with their Colorado got 5 plays. I don't know if y'all noticed. So it don't matter who had quarterback, because see, they've never used Salter the way Salter was intended to be used. They never used him. They should have looked at his Liberty film and saw the way that Liberty used him. No design runs, no quarterback powers. I ain't see him run with no quarterback power. It's all RPO shit. And then they don't even run the RPO shit with the receivers attacking downfield. It's always the damn throw to the sideline shit, And their receivers don't block worth the shit. So that don't work. And then they're not even running it right. The first screen they ran with Sincere last week, Sincere came too far in, right? So they had the numbers. It was 2-on-2, but because he came so far in, he allowed a third guy to come in from all the way across from the middle of the field to come in and disrupt the whole goddamn play. And you don't run that with him anyway. He's too tight in the hips. Now you could probably he ran at Campbell he ran some tunnel screens. And he ran that like he was running tunnel screen, but that wasn't what he's supposed to be doing. He was supposed to just take a step and turn around, right? His man was playing off of him. The guy in front of him, the guy inside of him, he's supposed to attack the guy in front of him. He attacked his guy, and then you get one-on-one action, right? You want to make this guy work around him, and then he gets up the field. But they don't run this shit right. I don't know what the hell they do. Like, I don't know. It's like the wide receiver coach ain't talking to the coordinator or the running back. I mean, it's just the wrong personnel. You should that should have been the little kid what they call him Q for six. He should have been the guy on that screenplay. He the one who got wiggle and can get loose. So they needed somebody with some who's loose in the hips. Sincere too tight in the hips. He tall. He's 6'5". Yeah, he fast, but he's not elusive. He's not. He's not elusive. I haven't seen Sincere break a tackle all year. Uh, Not that he had many opportunities, but I haven't seen it. And he's just too tight in the hips. It's not that type of. That's not the type of guy. That's not the guy you want to be using on that type of. If anything, use him as the blocker. Hell, he's 6'5". Him and Amarian should be the ones that should be the best blockers. They're the biggest damn thing on the field. And then use the little dude to run behind him. But what do I know? I don't know. I think I know a lot. Y'all don't know. I played and coached this game for 30 some years, and that's my specialty offense. And they don't do nothing right. They don't even line up right half the time. And you know, it, eh, one thing as a coordinator, and especially as a wide receiver coach, you always teach your receivers not to cover up the tight end or to understand who's supposed to be on and who's not supposed to be on. If you're on the ball, you just give a simple gesture to the front, and if you're behind him, you put your hand behind you and let them know you're off the ball. You don't have to necessarily be really off the ball. You can just be 1 yard off the ball as long as you letting the ref know that you're the one who's off the ball, and you let him know that, or you're the one on the ball. Then he can just have some discernment to where how many people is in the backfield. Never in a college game should that happen. It didn't happen with my kids at youth football. Damn sure didn't happen with my kids in high school. So it shouldn't be happening in college. You should know as a college wideout whether not to whether you're supposed to be on the ball or not. Are you the X or you the Z? You know what I'm saying? Or if you're in a trips type of situation, you got the tight end on your side, then the two receivers off. If the tight end's on, the tight end's off, then one guy steps up, and you and the tight end, you and the second receiver are off the ball. That's just simple. It's common sense. Shouldn't be getting hit with 5 people in the backfield. This is dumb shit. You know. So and and you can't tell me that this don't happen in practice because it happens in the game too often. It did. It's been happening all year. Be honest with you, it was they were doing that in Georgia Tech. The referees weren't calling it. So you can best believe when Arizona played them, right? Because that was the reason why the touchdown got called back. They said illegal man downfield. Well, he was covered up. That they showed them. They showed them. They told them, say, look here, when they line up like this, it's a legal formation. They all can't go out in the route. And then also too, when you bring in that extra goddamn lineman for tight end, you put a 80-something number on him. You know he's running the fucking ball. They ain't throw the ball to him yet. It would be nice if they just one time they released him out into the flat or on the screen or something and dumped it to him. It would at least make somebody think about something else other than he just coming in on run plays. So everybody just looking for the damn run. Everybody stepping up close to the line of scrimmage. There's a such thing as 8 in the box. What you should do and what you shouldn't do. When people lining up 8 in the box. It's never this team never. I never see no counter punching with their run game either. Like they run zone. It's either zone left or zone right. I ain't seen zone cutback yet. I ain't seen no double team between the guards and the tackles on the guy. I've seen them pull. I've seen them pull backside tackle. Uh, you know, whatever. They did that 3 times in a row in one game. So I don't know. So Jay James, you said you would start JuJu. Hell, I wouldn't start JuJu. If I was the coach the reporter asked Coach Prime, they said, what's the reason why JuJu decided to start JuJu? He said common sense. Not in this offense. That ain't common sense to me. I wouldn't play JuJu in this system because it's set up to fail. To be honest with you. And they and I hope I'm wrong, but Rich Rodriguez gonna put up 60 on this team Saturday morning in West Virginia. You can watch, you can believe that because they don't know how to stop quarterback power, quarterback. They don't know how to stop no quarterback runs. They ain't stopped it all year. And these are gonna be design quarterback runs. These ain't gonna be no scrambling shit. And I'm just interested to see if they're gonna play man or zone against this quarterback, this freshman. Because this quarterback is he's the fifth starter. He's the fifth string quarterback. He's probably a walk on. I'm not sure if he has a scholarship now. He's probably a walk on if he's the fifth starter on the team. Because all the rest of them are hurt. Well, I don't. Why? So let's ask the question: Why do you think he? Why do you think the other guy wasn't playing with confidence? He's a fifth year. He's a fifth year senior, and we assume that he looked confused a lot of times. He didn't look confident. He didn't look like he probably didn't believe in what the fuck they was calling. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's like a fish out of water. You take a guy and you put him in your old system that you had Shadur in, and they ran RPOs with Shadur, but shit, the D never respected Shadur as gonna run. He ain't no runner. That's why that shit didn't work when he was there. But at least they wide receivers did block, so they could throw it out there to the outside, and every now and then Travis would shake or get loose, or Lajante or somebody would get loose. Because them receivers they could block. They did have pride in blocking, but these receivers can't block worth a damn. I think they've had three 50-yard runs or better by the quarterback or running back called back due to holding by the wideout. The wideout, yeah, drive killers. I always tell my guys, you got to stock blocking. It's nothing to stock blocking when you wide receiver. It's all about positioning. All you do is get in front of the guy, turn your hips, and get big. That's it. You don't need to hold. You don't need to reach out and grab. All you want to do is create a safe lane between the runner and the guy that you're blocking against. That's it. All you do is get in front and turn your hips. Give him a definitive way whether you taking the guy to the outside or you taking to the inside. It's not hard to do. It really isn't. You break down, right? You get in your breakdown with your quarter eagle. Soon as the man in, we was taught to power step a motherfucker. So you short step, power step, come up inside, just outside the numbers, turn your hips, and that's all it is. And you won't get hold. And don't after you grab a motherfucker and he trying to get loose, and you throw your hands up in the air like you wasn't holding him. Hell, that's a dead giveaway. Shit, yeah, you was holding. You know, so don't do that type of shit either. You know, you give it away. And every time they've done that. They've got a penalty every single time and call back like 50-yard runs. It's crazy. But me personally, I wouldn't have played JuJu. Not in this system. This system doesn't. This system ain't gonna serve him well. And if they haven't changed some, if man, I ain't seen no counter. I ain't seen no inside trap. I ain't seen man. I've seen power a few times, but I ain't seen them block it right yet. I ain't seen them run power right yet. And people always say, "Oh, well, they was doing so well earlier in the year when they was lining up and shifting the tight end to the other side, and then running them across the line of scrimmage to kick out the end while they would all zone block out to either to the right or left." Hey, man, look, Coach Whittingham did a great job. His staff, that defensive coordinator, exposed them, and like Coach Prime told y'all, the cat is out the bag now. He exposed them. So what does everybody else do? They just do what Utah did. That's what Colorado should have did against Utah. BYU had just beat them. All you had to do was come in and implement the things that BYU did the week before. You had 2 weeks to prepare for that too. And guess what BYU got their scheme from? Texas Tech, who beat them earlier in the year. All they did was did the same thing Texas Tech did. I mean, it's a copycat league. You know, when you find something that works, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't try to go in and implement different shit when you know you saw that the team right the week before you showed you how to beat them. You know, everybody seems to think, oh, all these guys right here that they got out the portal, they got a lot of talent on this team. Everybody seems to think this is a Jimmy's and Joe's issue. It's not a Jimmy's and Joe's issue. This is more of an X and an O issue to me. Um, exactly, exactly. But if Shador had this line right here, oh man, I would have loved to seen it, see what he could have done with a line like this. But I didn't think the line was that bad last year either. But like I said, um, they made up a lot of plays too on the sideline. You know what I mean? So they deviated from the offense uh, by making up their own plays on the sideline. You know, and then they had signals too. Have you yet seen Salter call an audible? I've never seen him call an audible yet or signal audible yet to any of the receivers to reroute. It's like they're not implemented. And I've seen Staub do it. He's been there for 3 years. So I've seen him do it. I've seen him make an adjustment, but I haven't seen the starting quarterback. Like, dude, what you guys doing? What y'all doing? Y'all don't get together and talk about stuff, or hey man, if this guy come up and press me, this is good. This is an automatic this. If I see a blitz this, just turn around. Look for the ball. Why are we still running 15, 10, 12-yard routes when safeties are coming, linebackers are coming, and they blitzing the hell out y'all? All you have to do is just stop and turn around. And then it's on the quarterback to recognize where it's coming from and to replace where they left. Simple as that. It's not hard to do. All you have to do is a couple times and they'll stop blitzing your ass. You hit them on a few hots for some big gains, and that'll stop all that blitzing shit. Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, like some people just think that that will spark the motivation. They think that's gonna be the same thing with Shador when he gets in Cleveland, that he's gonna spark. But here's the thing: sometimes a bad system is just a bad system. Y'all ever wonder why Geno Smith? Remember when Geno Smith was with the Jets and shit? And everybody, damn, when Geno came from West Virginia, he was lighting up the scoreboard, right? He get over there to the Jets, shit, Geno looked like the worst thing in the world. He get over to the Seahawks, what happened? It's the system. Most of these guys are system guys. That's what they are. They system guys, and if you put the wrong guy in the wrong system, you're gonna get problems. It's gonna be problems. Plain and simple. That's all it is. Very, very. You don't have traditional quarterbacks like you did with Brady, Rogers, and what's the cat from the Saints? Drew Bledsoe. I mean Drew Brees and Manning. You don't have those type of guys. You got guys. These are all system guys now. All system guys. Jalen Hurts, he's a system guy. That's why he was successful last year. Kellen Moore realized, put him in a system. That's why he was successful, and he just became a great. He's all he had to do was manage the game. They're system guys. That's what they are. You put them in the right system, they'll have some success. The guy over there in Chicago, right over there with Caleb Williams, what he's doing? Caleb's finally buying into the system. That's why he's looking like a real quarterback now. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So, these um now and here's the thing another too. The college game and the NFL game is very different. So, and that's because of the hash marks. I tell people that all the time. That's the hash marks make it a different game. You can apply math to everything. What I mean by that, because geometry is geometry. You got the difference of 30, 45, and 60-degree angles opposed to 90, which are in the NFL. The hash marks are just outside the goalpost, which makes it a middle type of field type of game. By the hash mark being just inside the numbers in college, now you have more of a field side and a boundary side. That's why the option works. The veer worked in college and it didn't work in the pros. That's why you could run the veer. That's why players like Darian Hagan and before him Jamel Holloway, those type of guys, option quarterbacks, Scott Frost, them type of guys right there, could be successful in college running an option, but in pros you can't run that shit because the game is in the middle of the field. It's geometry. And you can apply geometry math to just about everything in the world when you understand that. And that's the reason why short quarterbacks generally don't have success in the NFL too. Because the game's in the middle of the field. You got shit. These motherfuckers are 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" coming at you, and even the guys that's blocking for you. 5'8" quarterbacks just ain't gonna work. Because you ain't gonna be able to see, or your throws are gonna sail on you. Middle of the shot, they gonna sail on you. Because a lot of them don't even play with the right form anyway. They throw the ball from their hip rather than having the ball on the shelf, like how Coach Tepper at Cal used to teach it, who taught Aaron Rodgers, right, and taught Jared Goff, right, how to throw with accuracy. So yeah, but that's the reason why Dylan Gabriel he's too little, man. Doug Flutie was probably one of the baddest little short dudes that you was gonna have be able to play, and he had some success, but he wasn't. It wasn't what it was in college because it's a different game. The little guy, man. And all it takes is that one time where say it's third or fourth down, the game is on the line, right? And you need just a simple little. It's 4th and 3 or 4th and something, whatever, or 4th and 5, and you need to potentially throw the ball. And this game is on the line, where this game on the side whether you get to the playoffs or not. And you throw it and somebody back that motherfucker down. And you like, damn. You know what I'm saying? That's all it takes. And that shit happens more times than not. What Sean King say? He said, "Man, ain't no way in hell." He said picking Dylan Gabriel in the third round was an egregious pick. Nobody in the NFL had him rated a third round quarterback. Shit, you probably could have waited to the draft ended and got him as a free agent. To be honest with you, oh, nobody picking up Dylan Gabriel. Shit, that's how bad Kevin Stefanski's sorry ass is. But he come from Penn. He played in that Ivy League shit with Holy Cross, um, Columbia and Colgate and Harvard and all that shit. His quarterback probably was 5'8" shit at that school. That's probably why he thought maybe he could play with one. He could coach one up. And that's the reason why he's so damn stubborn too. He think he's smart in every goddamn body because he went to Penn. He don't know shit. at least when it comes to football. Let's see here. Well, I just wanted to see if I can get here and talk some football with y'all for a minute. I didn't go live earlier, so with my boys D Mac and Tim, we run the show Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday at 1:30 Pacific time. And we didn't go on today, so I thought I'd just come on here for a minute and talk up a few things. If you haven't subscribe to the show. Subscribe to the show Monday through Friday. We on at 1:30 Pacific time. That'd be 3:30 Eastern. Well, actually 4:30. 3 hours ahead, right? Yeah, 4:30 Eastern. Anybody got any? What y'all think? Come in. Tell me where you're from. What y'all think JuJu gonna do? He gonna light up the scoreboard, or he gonna wet the bed? This defense that West Virginia is running, uh, may present some problems for my boy JuJu, and he hasn't been able to experience a lot of different types of defenses. But we're gonna see. Rich Rodriguez is an excellent coach too, and West Virginia is not as bad as their record is. They had a lot of injuries this year, a lot, and they're playing with a fifth string quarterback too. He might be a walk on because I hardly think that they got 5 scholarship quarterbacks on that roster. So he's probably a walk on, but he might have found the right one to run his offense or what he like to do because this guy's a runner. He can't throw worth a shit, but he can run like a motherfucker. And that's the truth. And hopefully, if Colorado can hold them under 200 yards of rushing yards, they might have a chance in this game if they have some production out of the offense. Being that you got a true freshman in there and with a bum system with a new coordinator calling the plays, and I was quite disturbed knowing that Coach Brett was calling the plays last week because it looked like Sherman. That's the same shit Sherman would do: throw the balls to the sidelines, throw the ball to the right, throw the ball to the left. And why the fuck are you throwing uh, bubble screens to Micah Welch with no goddamn protection, right? Ain't nobody blocking. Um, and uh, looked like they were in zone coverage too. That's the wrong person to be throwing it for a guy to be working in space. Yeah, but like I told you, they got 5 plays. So check this out. Here's their plays. Let me tell you what their plays are when they could line up. So they got 5. When they go 5 wide, they got all stop routes, right? So that's either all hitches or it could be all curls, or sometimes maybe the guys on the outside run curl, inside guys run hitches, or vice versa. I don't know. However, they run stop routes, right? I don't know. And it's hard for me to tell what the fuck they're doing because they don't run precise routes. That's a problem. That's a coaching problem. You don't know what the fuck they're doing, and the quarterback probably don't know what they're doing either because everybody doing something different. You put a different guy in, he do something different. So you don't know if he running 3 yard a step and turn around, 3 yard turn around, or 5 steps and turn around. You don't know what the fuck they're doing because nobody's doing the same shit, right? No precise routes out there. So they run all stop routes. They run mesh where they got the guys crossing each other, right? Usually it's the 2 inside guys, and it should be 2 posts behind it or a post stop behind one for the middle of the field, depending if they're in cover 2 or not, right? And you should be hitting them in windows, right? Preferably, I like to run it out of ace formation with 2 tight ends, not with 2 wide receivers, not 3 on one side, 2 on. I don't like to run it like how they running it. I like to run that with the 2 tight ends, and they're just They cross at 5 and 6 yards coming across. You know, and generally it's always the one. If you're right-handed, the one on the left's gonna be open because you're dropping back to the right, and if you're left-handed, the one on the right will be open because they will be moving that way, and you just simply turn your hips, swing open, and hit the guy in the open window. He'd be wide open. Trust me, it works all the time. I run it all the time. Um, but they don't run it. They don't run it right. So they got mesh. So that's two. They run flood, where they try to roll the quarterback out to the field side, and they flood the zone area, which they got looks like maybe an arrow. They got an out. They got the guy coming across on a shallow drag, and then this guy on the outside. He running down the field. He running a 9. So that's 3. And then they got their favorite route when they need 5 yards or they need I say 3 yards or better. They're trying to get a first down. They run past 93, which the outside guys are running 9. Inside guy, and they run this out of doubles. Inside guys running out. And that's why that's why last week Arizona picked their ass twice on past 93 because they knew what they were doing. Hell, I knew what they were doing, and they watched tons of film on it, and they playing against them. You think they don't know what you're doing? Right? So that's why they was sitting on everything and picking that shit off. And then they do it at the dumbest time. They run the shit against cover too, where your corners are sitting in the flat and your safeties got up top, and they run nobody down the middle of the damn field to hold the safety to even if they could hit the whole shot between the safety and the corner. They never. I don't know what it's just bad concepts all over the place in this offense. It was bad last year. Shador got. I'm telling you, Shador and them covered up a lot. This offense wasn't good. It could have. They put up some points, but they could have put if they with a real offensive coordinator. If Prime would have got a real offensive coordinator in there, Shador would have lit up the whole. You thought he was good last year. He would have towed that league up with a real coordinator, and with that type of talent, he would have lit. I'm talking about he would have lit that league up because he's so accurate, right? He would have towed their ass up. But uh, some say Dion don't want nobody challenging him or whatever. He won't. That's another problem. You don't let coaches bring in their own coaches. It's hard to too if you're a coordinator too. And that might. So I blame Shermer to because he's been there for 3 years now because or 2.5. It's difficult too when you got to coach the players and coach the coaches of what you want to do. You understand what I'm saying? Because not all plays require same type of talent, right? Just like I told you, you don't want to run Michael Welch on a bubble screen. You would want to run one of your little quick guys, or what's the dude? Cam McHale should have been that guy. You know what I'm saying? Or Miller could have been that guy, right? Draylon could have been that guy, not Michael Welch on your bubble screens. You know what I'm saying? Mike Welch ain't got no wiggle. He's a thudder. You know what I'm saying? He's a north and south type of guy. Fuck you running him on bubble screens for? Stupid. That's stupid. And so as an offensive coordinator, especially if I'm calling a play, that's why you should color. If you color code your goddamn your players on your run, so I would like for certain plays, I would put these particular players in different codes. Like I would have a green team, a blue team, a red team, so that my position coaches would know who I want, depending on what play I'm calling. So it would be red, ace, whatever, whatever, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I would have these particular tight ends in if I'm running a pass route more versus if I have better blocking tight ends, then I would go blue and I want my blocking tight ends in. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the way that they should, implement your shit. That's the reason why they just running people in and out and not having the right personnel for the right type of play. And then nobody's running the same shit. They got that over route where they running a guy all the way across the field and they did this shit 3 times in a row against Utah. where they got guys crossing at 15 yards down the field. They ran into each other one time. Now, how silly is that shit? Where they run into each other at crossing, doing a mesh route at 15 yards down the field while they being blitzed. How the fuck you gonna do that? How the hell you gonna do 15-yard crossing routes and people coming? People blitzing. You ain't got they sending 6 and 7. They sending 5 and 6 people on cross stunts and shit. And you running 15, 12 and 15-yard routes down the field. No shallow person, no safety valve, right? You always should have a safety valve in everything, either H delay where you come across, or check swing if they're not blitzing. You keep a guy in, and he's to read from inside to outside. That's his job, right? If you got two guys blitzing, you take the inside guy, right? If not, you check and you swing, and you just do a little slow swing out into the flat. And if he's looking downfield and there's nothing else, he just simply dumps it off to the. This shit is real simple to do. You know what I'm saying? And they don't. I don't never see them put a safety valve in their off in their pass offense. Never. I've never seen it. I seen them one time. The defense was rushing 4 people. They had 6 people in there blocking. You just wasted your back. The back is wasted at this point. Why you don't get him involved in the route? Nobody's open downfield. The quarterback wound up having to try to. He wound up getting sacked. Or he ran out the pocket and throwing the ball out of bounds. And you got 6 people in here. You got 5 linemen and a running back blocking in there for 4 people. That don't even make no goddamn sense. Where you had 6 people blocking 4 people from? That back should have check swing. He should have did a check swing or check delay, right? I never see them use a back as a safety valve. And he should always, if nobody blitzing, he should be involved in the play. I'm just telling you, it's a bad system. And I would have played JuJu in this shit because this might be the reason why he transferred. Because, Coach Prime got that shirt say, "We coming." He won't need to change it to "they coming" because they coming. Them blitzes, they coming like a motherfucker. You can believe that. Anyways. What you say? You see Coach Reed today about him taking over? Yeah, I seen Coach. Hey, I can't. I don't like Coach. I don't like him, dog. I don't like him. I didn't like him at Notre Dame. He had that 1 year when he was at Alabama with Coach Saban, and they went to they went they lost to Washington before the championship, and that's when they had Jalen Milroe, and really it's because Alabama was more talented than everybody else that they played. That's why they was having more success. Jalen Milroe, he made a lot of that shit happen with his legs anyway. But Tommy Reese's, I can't. I don't like. I hope Tommy Reese proved me wrong. But like I said, the system is still bad. But I want to see. I want to see what he do. I'm real interested. But this week ain't gonna be no real tell. So don't y'all can't really judge him on this week because Jets is playing with uh uh string cheese and a Chico stick. Motherfucker, these motherfuckers is, as JB would say, these motherfuckers ain't shit. They didn't trade away their whole goddamn team. They ain't got nobody there. Jalen Field, I mean, so you can't judge him on this team. They playing against the Jets. But next week, I think they playing the Steelers, and then we're gonna really see what Tommy Reese can do when they play against the Steelers. That'd be a good test. By that time, Shador will probably be playing. Something Galen, what's his name? Um, Dylan Gabriel got 8 quarters to go before they put Shador in. But I think if they lose Sunday against the Jets, you'll see Shador next week. Hell, you might see a whole different staff next week. Because I'd fire Stefanski as for sure. If you lose to this team, because this Jets team, they clearly just emptied bared all the cupboards because they looking to get their own people in there. Aaron Glenn said, "Fuck that! I want my own people in here. If you're gonna judge me, Judge me on the people I bring in. I don't want what came from with the old regime, and that's what you should do. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna judge me on the people that I put on this roster, not the people that were left behind from the previous regime. So I agree with Aaron. Shit, I do the same thing because you don't know if the people that's there now, buy into what he coaching. So, but anyways, man, like I said, we come on Monday through Friday, man. We have 1:30 Pacific Standard Time. It'll be 4:30 Eastern. You know, Monday through Friday. It's usually me and two other people. Me and my boy D Mac, who played at University of Washington, played on the national championship team from the Dub. Played wide receiver. He played with Billy Joe Holbert and um, played with Jaime Fields and all those guys, all those cold players that went to the NFL off that team. But anyways, I'm gonna get up out here, y'all. But I appreciate y'all checking in, man. Don't forget to catch us tomorrow on Freedom Friday. It's gonna be lit tomorrow because rest in peace to the brother that took his life from the Cowboys too, man. Man, we're gonna talk about that tomorrow, man. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow. He's like probably the third person I know or heard of that's done that this year. Um, I don't know, that mental health shit. That's some real shit, you know. And I have to. The only thing you can attribute that to, associate that with, is mental health. Because what could be so bad? Because you only get. Hey, man, look here. Ain't no reason to do all this. Look, you gonna get there. Everybody is. Everybody gonna get there. Just give yourself some time. You ain't got to force it. You ain't got to rush it. Everybody gonna get to the same place eventually. There ain't no need for you to sit up here and do that to yourself. You know what I'm saying? A young cat, 24 years old, and you in the league. Come on, dog. You playing a game. Like what like Ivan said, a game. A game, dog. You getting played to play a childhood game. What could be so bad going on in your life where, you know, come on, dog. You know. I ain't saying that I know, but ain't nothing that serious, not to me anyways. Nothing that serious, like I said. Everybody gonna get there. You ain't got to rush it, dog. You ain't got to rush it. And people have different opinions about it. You know what I'm saying? It's really people be going through a lot, man. I know I dig it, but it's really kind of a selfish act, bro. All these people, your parents who love you, they don't want you can't don't do that to your mom and your pops, dog. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to bury your parents. They ain't supposed to bury you, dog. That's just the way it's supposed. That's the way it should go. It don't always go that way, but man, don't you be the reason why it don't go that way. There's no reason to do that. But I feel for that brother, man. That fact that he didn't have nobody that he thought he could go to, and for whatever reason it was, that it wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? Everybody going through something. We all going through something. It's always somebody going through something worse than what you're going through. That's what you always got to remember. So it don't need to never even really need to go there. But anyways, I'm out of here, man. Y'all like and subscribe to the channel, man. I appreciate that. And we'll be back on tomorrow and we'll talk about it. I'm out.
In order to have anything in this world, you must speak up on it. In order to have anything in this world, you must speak up on it.
Oh, that your virgin and Versace, she don't want it. She like it hot just like a coffee in the morning. And if you want it, then you gotta speak up on it. Said if you want it, then you better speak up on it. 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 Said if you want it, then you better speak up on it. Said if you want it, then you gotta speak up on it. She's not into material, but she like it physical. Can't wait to download my digital. I'm running, I'm rushing. Girl, you got me crushing.